Welcome back to the Please Suck Less podcast. I'm only hitting one topic today. I'm going to talk a little bit about recruiting, and this is going to be recruiting for career or volunteer. Recruiting shouldn't be just about getting people through the door. It should be all about getting the right people through the door, because somewhere along the way, we started acting like anybody can do this job. But here's a news flash. They can't. The fire service, whether it's career or volunteer, isn't supposed to be for everybody. It's supposed to be for the ones who are willing to bleed a little for something bigger than themselves. I want to tell you a little bit of a story that I heard from Simon Sinek. Most of you probably know who he is. If not, Google him, look him up. He's got a lot of good leadership stuff. But it's a story about military recruiters, and they were visiting a high school. And all the branches of the military service, or the four main branches, were there at the high school giving their spiel about why, join the armed forces. So the Air Force recruiter gets up. He's got a really slick PowerPoint, clean graphics, just really tight PowerPoint. And he talks about how the Air Force is amazing and how, if you have the option, you should come to the Air Force because we're where you need to be. When he's done his presentation, he sits down and the Army recruiter goes up. Again, another polished pitch. Join the Army, make a difference. Great graphics, really hypes up the Army and talks about how everybody should, run to the back of the room and sign up and, you're going to be part of something big and whatnot. It really hypes up. Navy recruiter, he gets up, same thing, same professional style. PowerPoint talks about how the Navy is the place to be. There's so much chance for growth and just really landing on thick about why everybody should join the Navy. And then the Marine recruiter gets up, no PowerPoint, no slideshow, no music, no fanfare. He walks to the edge of the stage. He looks out in the crowd and he stands there for about 30 or 40 seconds. And he looks out at all the kids and just says, I don't think any of you are good enough to be in the Marine Corps. He tells them that the Marine Corps is going to be the hardest thing you'll ever do. It'll challenge you physically and mentally. And most of you, if not all of you, won't make it. And then he pauses for a second and he says, but if you think I'm wrong, I'll be in the back of the room. And that was the end of his pitch. No sales pitch. Just a challenge that if you think you're good enough, we'll decide if you are. That's the Marine pitch. The recruiter wasn't trying to sell anything. He was filtering. He was saying, we only want the ones who need it. We only want the ones who crave to do the hard stuff. We only want the ones that are willing to bleed a little bit for a cause that's way bigger than they are. They're going to put their heart and soul into it. He was setting a standard before those people ever signed on a dotted line. He drew a line in the sand. So this brings me back to fire department recruiting. Think about our departments, whether it's career or volunteer. When was the last time that we set up a booth to take applications to try to recruit, whether it's career or volunteer, and we actually made a statement that way, telling them, hey, I know you think you want to join, but I don't think you're good enough to join. But if you think you are, sign up and prove me wrong. We put it out there in the front that the fire service is hard. It's not easy. But if you are good enough to make it, it's the best job in the world, hands down, career volunteer. We have to tell our potential members that this is the hardest thing they're ever going to do, whether you're career volunteer, 28-week recruit class where you're going to bleed, sweat, pull muscles. Same thing on the volunteer side. You're going to be giving up a lot of your personal time, how difficult it's going to be. If that scares those potential applicants, then good. We're doing our job. We've gotten soft when we're selling the fire service. So instead of challenging people, we need to make sure that they earn it. They have to be there for the right reason. We only want the best. I'm tired of seeing career and volunteers come in and only make it a year before they either resign or we never see them again from the volunteer ranks. It's a waste of our time, and it's definitely a waste of their time. So I get it. The numbers are down for career and volunteer. For the volunteers, the ranks are drying up. The recruitment is difficult. We're not getting people through the door. And it's the same thing for the career side. We're not getting the numbers that we used to get. But if our goal is just to put butts in chairs, then that's all we're going to have is a bunch of butts in chairs. We're not going to have the people that are there to do the job, to give it their all, okay? We're not going to be getting firefighters. We're just going to be getting people with fancy buzzwords, and we're going to talk about how great the benefits are, how flexible our schedule is, might even get to, tuition reimbursement. work-life balance. Okay. That's not what built this profession. What built this profession was pride, brotherhood, sisterhood, commitment. It was the idea that means that this job means something. And when you wear that patch, you earned it. We need to stop begging for people to join because that's how we're going to lose our pride. We need to start recruiting like the Marines do. We need to stop pretending that this job is easy because it's not. We need to stop pretending that anybody can do this job because not everyone can. This job will break you. It'll break your body. It could break you physically as well as mentally. It's going to test our patience, crush our ego. We lose sleep. We miss holidays. We miss family time. We see things that are going to stick with us forever. And that's the harsh reality of being in the fire service. But we still show up the next shift, or we still show up for that duty night. We still show up when the call or the pager goes off in the middle of the night. That's the right person that we want for this job. That's the person that is accepting the challenge to do something. If you love teamwork, if you crave discipline, if you want to start being part of something that actually matters, then yeah, we got a spot for you in the fire service. But if you're not willing to do that, there's the door, no hard feelings. Okay. There's a filter we need that we should be doing when we are out recruiting. We want people to be tested mentally and physically. We just don't want people to show up because they want the t-shirt. You can train skill, but you cannot train heart. We can teach tactics, but we can't teach pride. We've got to stop chasing warm bodies. We need to start challenging people to rise to the standard, the fire service standard, because the wrong person doesn't just suck at the job. They drag everybody else down. The right person makes everybody around them better. So here's my question. Are we brave enough to recruit like the Marines do, to look someone in the eye and say, you might not be good enough for this profession or to be a volunteer, but if you think I'm wrong, then you need to prove it. That's how we rebuild pride. That's how we fix the culture. That's how we make this job mean something again. We must stop chasing numbers and start chasing excellence. If you think I'm off base, or if you think I'm on target, drop me a line, drop me an email. It's going to be right here. Okay. Leave me a comment on social media. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. Either way, my shoulders are big enough. Remember, stick to the facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. And at the end of the day, suck less, do better. I'm out.